Okay, I'm going to be very honest with you. This video is going to likely stir up some emotion and possibly make people angry. And I'm going to say it anyways because I think that it deserves to be heard, simply because I cannot be the only person who feels this way. This is all about why I'm deciding to completely leave any groups that are titled support groups, specifically in the rheumatoid arthritis area. Okay. I don't know if any of you are in these kinds of spaces online, specifically on Facebook, but there's many of them. Many support groups. And not all are this way, but there are some that are super active. Lots and lots of members, and people post, questions. They will post different things, and I completely understand battling an autoimmune disease that causes a hellish life. Like, I get it. I've been there. It's not fun, right? There's nothing beautiful about battling autoimmune. Rheumatoid arthritis can be the devil. With that in mind, I also am a human that finds that when there's an issue or when there's a problem or when it feels better to take action than to sit and try to find somebody who's going to commiserate with me. Now, don't get me wrong, it's an easy space to fall into, right? Misery loves company, and it's super duper important to have that kind of support when you're feeling pretty low. But I will tell you one thing. So a community is what these groups are supposed to be. They're supposed to be a space for autoimmune warriors to come together and support each other, try to lift each other's spirits, try to provide comfort, but I don't feel like it's a space to have to commiserate next to each other. I don't think that we need to have a pissing match about who has this, that, or the other worse than somebody else, right? And I've just found that these places are, a lot of times somebody will post something and then you get all these people who comment and piggyback, and just, it's like a complaint chain. Like, there's just tons of complaints. And I understand. It's a tough disease. But the whole idea of community is not just about commiserating with each other. It's about challenging the status quo. And in order to do that, there has to be light. Like, there has to be, if somebody is bringing some darkness into the situation, we have to, share positive things as well. It cannot just be all the negative stuff, right? So focusing on all the bad brings more bad. Like, it translates into more people sharing, and it's true. The disease is rough. And it's true, there are bad days, there are bad moments, there are bad flares, there are bad months, there are bad years. Bad medication doesn't work, right? But when we constantly soak in it and it's all we think about, it's all you're going to get because it's all you see. So if you can swap how you're thinking about it, you're going to be able to focus on something different. You're going to be able to attract more feelings of calm, feelings of healing, feelings of, this sounds completely woo-woo, and I promise that's not my intention, but I really do believe what you focus on expands, and the more you can clear your mind from constantly being drugged down by, the circumstance of having disease and battling disease, and focus more on, okay, well, today I was able to do this, and then, just now I finished this and I accomplished this. And it's these little moments of gratitude and recognizing what you are able to do, what you are capable of happening, what is changing in your day-to-day life that continues to allow you to kind of dig yourself out of the autoimmune grave, basically. It's basically that. You either are down in it or you are trying to claw your way back up. And it's a constant battle like that until you start to see some kind of relief, whether that's through medication, whether that's through managing it in a different way. It doesn't matter. we all have mindset struggles. And if we don't constantly try to soak ourselves in lots and lots of positive light and really reword some of the thoughts that we have, it's really easy to stay focusing on the bad and bringing more bad right to us. And then lastly, autoimmune is hellish on its own. But it really is that opportunity to dig deeper into the root causes. It's an opportunity to question what treatment you're using, question, alternatives, question, all these things. Our bodies are 1,000,000% amazing. And healing different things is absolutely possible. If you need information on it, there's so many documentaries that prove this fact. Autoimmune is a lifestyle disease. It does not have to happen, but it's happening because of our environment. It's happening because we are living as a society that is very, very malnourished. And we're living as a society that's extremely, stressed out and busy, and constantly, on technology or in front of a TV. So we're much less active than we used to be. All of these things play a gigantic factor in how our bodies are handling the current environmental status. Food is not as great as it used to be. It's not as nutritious as it used to be. It doesn't have the nutrients it used to have. Our soil is depleted. Our environment is polluted. There's a lot of things that are feeding into this. And then we're feeding our bodies with barely recognizable nutrients. And we use the word nutrient very loosely if we're talking about any kind of processed carbohydrate, because it's insane. So having a struggle, a battle, and I get it, it's exhausting to live with disease. You don't have the energy to go research. But if you're watching Netflix, you might as well flip on a documentary instead. You can educate yourself. Learn how other people that you're following, that you see on the internet or that you see on TV, are thriving with an autoimmune disease, with rheumatoid arthritis. It's been almost 4 years, you guys. 4 years without medication. I took medication almost 5 full years. So I'm getting to the point where I am almost even with the amount of time that I took meds and haven't taken meds. And I can tell you right now, I feel better than I've felt ever since being diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And it is 100% controlled with nutrition. But there's a lot of other pieces that go into that, right? Like moving my body and strengthening my joints. I do it every day. There's a lot of water that I drink. There is a lot of mindset work that happens, because if I allow my mind to go into a negative place, it stresses me out. It really does wear down my immune system, and I will get sick. And I will, have all these things, and then all of a sudden I might be a little achier or I'm more tired, and it's like, no. Whole body wellness is vital. If you are struggling, know that you are not alone. But know also that by aligning with more struggle, it really tends to actually drag us down further. We have to, if we are seeking to have healing, if we are seeking to live just feeling better and wanting that more positive, I don't even know what to call it, reaching for something a little bit more light, just feeling light, like a release of weight on your chest, then you have to start to remove yourself from the situation where you're constantly being bombarded by people's comments where they're saying, telling their part of the story. And I get it. It's great to have community where we can commiserate and we can understand that everybody struggles, and it's great to be open and share that with people. And I think that there is a time and place for it. If you have found individuals that you can share that with, 1000% use that. I find that Instagram is the best space online for really supportive autoimmune communities, because there's a lot of great accounts sharing information about what it's really like to struggle, but also what's really possible and everything in between. And you don't have to feel like it's just, constant nagging about I don't look forward to any day of the year ever. And like, here's the thing. If you choose to lay down your sword and surrender, then you're done. Like life, you're deteriorating. And life may as well just, what's the point of living? A disease does not allow you to stop fighting. A disease means you need to fight harder. A disease gives you an opportunity to grow stronger. It gives you an opportunity to grow into healing. It gives you an opportunity to see what you are made of. And because you have been given this disease, for whatever reason, it is your opportunity, your right, your responsibility for yourself and for the world around you to show everyone what you are made of. That sounds really weird, but I think of having RA, I think of battling RA like a warrior. If you think about the word warrior, I'm not putting my sword down. My sword is always ready for battle because you never know when it's coming. You never know what's coming. And that sounds kind of scary, but the truth is if you have that grip on your sword, nothing is going to stop you. Nothing. You will figure out all the ways to combat what is coming at you, and you will continue to fight and continue to be a warrior and power on because it's just what you do. So instead of wondering and like being super, I don't want to say super negative. I want to say super, it's just a lack of production on why this disease is something you have to deal with. Instead of thinking that and focusing on that and really just spending so much time on that, think about what opportunity is within this. Like, what am I going to show myself and everybody else that I can accomplish because of this disease? Like, despite having this, I'm doing this. Like, up level and show yourself what you can do. Because I promise when you start to get your mind going and the wheels are turning and that's what you're thinking about, that's what you're focusing on, crazy amazing things are going to happen. Your life will not be full of circumstances anymore. We'll be full of conquer statements, and that's when we mic drop, and that is when we're like, yes, this is the community I want to be a part of. This is the powerhouse of having autoimmune disease and battling it like a warrior. So do not lay your sword down. Do not surrender. Continue to fight and show up and show us what you are able to do, because I promise it's going to be super magnificent. Just keep